Umkhonto weSizwe War inaugural conference continued into its second day today. Former ANC president and ex-MK combatant Thabo Mbeki addressed delegates warning against what he called counter-revolutionaries aiming to undermine the ANC. In a passionate speech, Mbeki urged ANC members nationwide to defend the party. Joining us now for more on this discussion, we are now joined by MK veteran Gregory Ntathisi, and he joins us now via our video link. Mr. Ntathisi, thank you so much for your time this evening here on SABC News. I mean, let's start off here, today being the second day for this conference. If you can just give us a synopsis of how this took place. I mean, yesterday we had Mbalula urging for introspection and affirmed the ANC's position to defend itself. How did delegates respond to this?
Well, indeed, let me say delegates that have converged at this conference are cadres of Umkhonto weSizwe, trial and tested members of the ANC, an advanced section that happened to be in the forefront of the liberation war of this country. We are talking about cadres who were nurtured and who are well informed when it comes to the demands that goes with the liberation of our people. So in our meeting, we had a number of leaders from the African National Congress to come and share their views with regard to the difficulties with which the movement finds itself, and that the investment done on these cadres of Umkhonto weSizwe must then be brought forward to begin to filtrate into the structures of the African National Congress and make sure that we really indeed build the ANC that is renewed and it refined to address the needs of our people on the ground. So yes, indeed, this was a success story, and we are now wrapping up to ensure that our delegates goes back with the mandate of knowingly that they'll have to filtrate and swell the ranks of the structures of the movement and society, and begin to give the necessary guidance that has to safeguard the gains that we have done so far of the liberation of our country.
And we also heard from the former ANC President Thabo Mbeki speaking today. What would you say were the key takeaways for the MK veterans?
As always, Comrade Thabo is one refined cadre of the organization who would always have that foresight of indicating what are some of the challenges the movement is faced with. Amongst others is that we are indeed in a situation where the element of counter-revolution has infiltrated the structures of the movement and of society, and they are literally working so hard to ensure that there is retrogression with regard to the efforts thus far. And he was warning to say we need to indeed, like in the same way as Comrade Mbalula, our SG said, release our efforts and begin to work hard to frustrate some of these efforts that show themselves. You would know that the policies of the ANC to date cannot be challenged by any policy. But the elements that came into our ranks, some of them, are still those that came from the past regime, and even those that are still saving imperial elements as well as apartheid infrastructure that we have to really obliterate from its existence to date. So there are indeed those elements that were outlined by Comrade Thabo to say we need to be alive to, and we need to really work hard to eliminate.
And Mr. Ntathisi, I mean, the ANC has a big task ahead of itself this year, and it continues to face severe hammering at the polls. And with the local government elections approaching, how will you as the MK war veterans mobilize and gain support for the ANC in the run-up to the elections?
Look, we took stock of the efforts done so far. We took stock of the challenges facing us. We indeed were able to outline what are those challenges that we're faced with. But we're also able to begin to acknowledge that the challenges that are facing us by far cannot supersede the efforts that the ANC, through its role in government, has played by providing our people with the necessary electricity. As we speak, I think 90% of the community of South Africa can enjoy what they could not out of electricity. Working very hard to make our people to have water that was never there in their vicinity, to ensure that we continue to provide a roof on their head, and also provide land in order for them to be able to can develop their own dwellings and their homes. Literally, there are challenges despite all this effort that we've put in place. Now, when we talk to our people, it would be at a point of saying, begin to celebrate what has come your way and join hands with us so that more can follow. Because it is in the interest of the people that they should understand who has got their interest at heart. And we want to believe that our policies to this date really do address and speak to what our democracy entails. We are not oblivious of the fact that the element of counter-revolution came in and started denting some of the good efforts that were put in place. And what is interesting is that we also took stock that they do as they did. And when when we are closing on them, they jump ship and open political parties alongside and start howling and heckling from outside, when they would have left us with the mess that we are dealing with today.
Mr. Ntathisi, thank you so much for your time this evening. That's Gregory Ntathisi there, the MK veteran, discussing with us the conference, the inaugural conference that is currently underway in the Free State, and that wraps up tomorrow.